Okay guys, I hope you had a great spring break. Also, I hope you all received that email that I sent out that has the cover sheets and kind of how we're doing it for a while, I guess, until we aren't doing it this way anymore. Anyway, so we are on dividing exponential expressions part 1. Okay. We're going to go ahead and just take our notes, and first off we are going to do dividing can only happen when the base is the same. Okay, so just like when we multiplied, we could only add them together if they were the same base. When we're dividing, it's the same base as well. Okay. What we do is we actually, so you will cross off matching bases with an exponent of 1. Okay, and that's a little confusing without an example. So let me show you what I mean. So if we had x cubed y squared z over x to the 5th y z to the 4th. So we have this x cubed times y squared times z divided by x to the 5th y to the 1st z to the 4th. What we're going to do is we're going to rewrite this out. So x cubed is x times x times x times y squared is y times z. So that's my top or numerator. The bottom or denominator is x times x times x times x times x. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 x's, 1 y, and 4 z's. Okay, so if you notice, each one of these bases have an exponent of 1. Now that they have exponents of 1, what we could do is go ahead and cross those out. So if you notice, we could take this x and they would simplify out. So when we cross them out, we're saying, you know, x divided by x is 1. So this is really 1. Here's another. Here's another. And I've run out of x's on the top. So I have 2 x's left on the bottom, but they have to be on the top and bottom for me to cross them out. So we're done with the x's. I have 2 y's up top, 1 y at the bottom. So 1 and 1 can be crossed off. And then I have 1 z and 1 z. So if you look at this, I have y left on top. Technically, these are all 1. So 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 times y. So you could put 1y or just y. I have 1 times x, so x squared times 1 times 1 times z times z times z, so times z cubed. So my answer is y over x squared z cubed. Okay, so that's what we're going to be doing. Let's look at the step by step. So number 1, write the exponent as repeated multiplication. That is a long word. Okay, so that's what we did here. We wrote it out as repeated multiplication. Step 2 is to eliminate. Bases with an exponent of 1. Okay, and again, you can't eliminate more than what you have matching. So matches, matches. So you can only get rid of matches. Okay. Step 3, put remaining bases back into exponential form. Okay, that's where we took our 3z's and put z cubed. I'm going to put step 4, simplify any numbers. So if I had 2x over 4, we could technically simplify this 2x to 1x over 2. So if you do have any numbers, we're going to simplify those as well. Okay, so for our examples, here we go, example 1. We're going to go 2 cubed times x cubed times y squared z all over x squared times y cubed times z cubed. So this 2 cubed we could deal with first. That's 2 times 2 times 2. Then x 3 times, y 2 times, and z once, all over 2 x's, 3 y's, and 3 z's. So we know 2 times 2 is 4 times 2 is 8. Okay, we could cross off an x and an x, cross off a y, and it doesn't matter where, and a z and a z. So I'm left with an x on top. So, and my 8 is also on top. So 8x, and then I have 1y and 2 z's. And that would be our answer. Okay, let's look at a different one. Let's say we have negative 4a squared b squared c to the 0 power over 8 a b squared c to the 3rd. Okay, so let's look at this. Let's go ahead and simplify this right here. Negative 4 over 8. Well, I know 4 goes into 4 once and 8 twice. So that's negative 1. And that is going to be 2. Then I have a times a, b times b, and then what's c to the 0 power? Well, if you remember, anything to the 0 power is 1. So that's really times 1 right here, this c to the 0. Then we have a times b times b times c times c times c. So we took care of those numbers. We have a pair of a's that will cross off. We have both b's crossing off, and then we actually don't have any c's. So I have negative 1 times negative 1 times a times 1, which is negative 1a, over 2 times c times c times c, so 2c cubed. Okay. I'm going to quickly do one more. This is number 41 from your assignment. So this is number 41 from your assignment. So it's r cubed t to the negative 1 x to the negative 5 all over t x. I think that is to the 5th. Let me look. Yes, it is. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we don't like these negative exponents, and if you look back on your notes, we just move them to the opposite side. So we're actually going to do that first. So that's r cubed. This t to the negative 1 doesn't like to be on the top. So this will become t to the positive 1. So we took this one, moved it down. We're going to take this x and moved it down as well. So there's already x to the 5th down there. We're going to take that negative 1 and move it down. It becomes positive 5. So when we have these multiplied, we're going to add our exponents. So we have r cubed over 1 and 1 is t squared. 5 and 5 is x to the 5th. So if we wrote this out, we'd have 3 r's on top, 2 t's on bottom, and 5 x's on the bottom as well. Will there be any that will cross out? No, there won't. So this is actually our answer. So sometimes when you divide and you have these negatives, you move them around and you actually don't end up crossing anything off. Okay? So your guys' assignment, sorry, I should leave that over there. So your assignment will be on page 406, number 1 through 7, odd, 19, 21, 27, 33, and 35. Technically you have 41, but we already did it, so you don't need to do it again. All of these are in the back of the book, so check your work, make sure you're doing it correct, and I hope you guys have a great Tuesday. Anyway, bye.